All right, we are live on Las Vegas Triathlon Club. We're recording and we're running a little bit late because of me. So thank you, Yoshi, for hanging on.
That's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. As well, and it's a Saturday night live. Yeah,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, Saturday night
My
live.
boss
Yeah.
week, I know you're busy. Yeah.
No,
Thank you
I
for
wasn't
having
busy. I was lying on the couch thinking about what we're going to do tomorrow. So,
me. That's okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, thanks for joining us. I think this is going to be fun to talk with you and get to know your story in triathlon a bit better. You've been a member of the Las Vegas Tri Club since 2017,
Yes.
and you are just such a joy to have at the races. I love seeing you there, giving you a high five, and it's always fun to see you've got just a great attitude about racing, and I appreciate everything you do with supporting the club. So thanks for being part of the club, and I can't wait to get to know a little bit more about your triathlon history because I'm looking at all those bibs and medals back there. That's impressive.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And well, thank you for having me, first of all. Thank you for the invite. And I couldn't join this meeting because of my work schedule. And finally, you are doing this on Saturday night, not Thursday night because of my work. So thanks for doing this. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, tell us a little bit about the bibs in the back. So, when did you start racing? Are those triathlons, marathons? What are they?
Uh, Everything, all the runs, triathlons. First of all, I was never an endurance athlete. I was not a runner at all. As a matter of fact, I hated it. My parents were running all the time.
Yeah.
I remember I used to tell them, "Hey, you guys are ridiculous. How could you run 1 hour straight, 2 hours straight?" It was never for me. And back in 2010, and I almost lost my best friend because of the heart attack.
Uh,
And I used to be a smoker. I used to smoke cigarettes,
oh,
so I would
really?
really be in a bad shape. And cause of the heart attack was not smoking. However, it made me think, of course. And I was 39 years old at the time.
Mm,
I need to quit. I better change my lifestyle.
hmm.
And it was 2010 August. And when I almost lost my best friend, I quit smoking and I better do something. And my parents, they used to come here every November, December for Las Vegas Marathon. Back then, that was in December.
Hmm.
So anyway, they called me one day and said that, well, they don't speak English. So they asked me to register Las Vegas Marathon in December. So okay, cool. I'll do it for you. And then for some reason, I just decided to surprise them. And I registered, they registered marathon, but I decided to do half marathon. There's no way I can do the whole thing. So I started training in September, October. I had barely 2 months to train.
Oh, goodness.
And right after I stopped smoking, and I still remember first time I could barely run 10 minutes.
Oh, boy.
I went up to 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, a little bit longer and longer every time. And then I think I went up to 7 miles. And I even said to myself, like, I can't believe I'm running more than 1 hour. And then anyway, I finished the half marathon.
Oh,
Um, it was tough. I was slow. It was run, walk, run, walk.
so
I
what?
my
Well, tell me how surprised were your parents, and when did you tell them that finally that you were doing the half?
I told them like 2, 3 days before the race.
Ah.
They got here. We went to pick up a packet, and hey, by the way, I'm running with you guys.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they were just surprised. And but in my mind, I'm just doing the half. They're
Yeah.
doing the marathon.
Yeah.
There's no way they can beat me.
Yeah.
So I started off kind of fast, and I still remember the 4 mile mark. They caught up with me, and then they just passed me. And then, my parents were like kind of like looking back at, "Hey, are you okay?" And then my dad was like, "Okay, we're just running 11 minutes mile. Why don't you just run with us?" I'm like, "I'm trying here. I'm trying hard." But they just dropped me. And I
Oh,
was only 39 and they were in 60s.
oh,
And how is it possible? They're running faster than I.
oh, what a great story.
Yeah. So anyway, I just told them I could barely breathe. So just don't worry about me. Keep
No,
going.
no.
And then I still remember my time was 2 hours and 43 minutes. It's
Wow, that's impressive for
I thought so
just
because at the
for
time I just quit smoking,
yeah, right.
training. I thought I did very well, but I know
Yeah,
it's slow. And but after that, I just surprised myself too. I
yeah,
can't believe I ran half. I never thought I would do it.
yeah.
So I started running about once a year, sometimes two half marathon a year.
Okay.
And I was just a seasonal runner. So I would train maybe, okay, 3 months before the race, maybe I better start training, just like that. So I never got better.
Hmm.
And then 2014, I bought my first road bike.
Hmm.
I sucked at it. I just
Well,
couldn't ride it.
what made you buy a road bike at that point?
So I was having a lot of injuries in my legs.
Yeah.
At the time, I had no idea. And so anyway, if I can't run, maybe I should start riding the bike. So I went to the bike shop. I just bought the cheap road bike. It was only a couple $100. I had zero idea about it, but it was very difficult for me. And a lot of people passed me, even like no disrespect, but a lot of grandpa, grandmas even passed me. So okay, maybe this is not for me. So I stopped. And then 2016, I was just talking to one of my coworkers who used to run a lot
Yeah.
and who used to do a lot of triathlons. He's older than I. So it was just spur of the moment. I was pumped up just listening to his stories.
Uh,
You know what? Maybe I should do it. So I got home. I started Googling and I found a race. I can't remember the name, but it was south of San Diego. I
okay.
found a sprint race. It was in August, 2016 August. It was about 3 months before the race.
Hmm.
I joined a Lifetime. I started swimming, and I thought I could run. And a bike is easy. It's only so the distance was a little bit different. Swim was only 500 meters instead
Okay.
of 750, but the bike was just over 14 miles
All
instead
right.
of 12.5. So it kind of cancels out.
Yep.
So I said to myself, okay, it's only 500 meters. It's not bad.
Hmm.
I can bike 14 miles and I can run 3 miles.
All right.
Okay, so it's not so bad. And I started running. I started swimming. After 50 meters, I couldn't swim anymore.
So, did you have any swimming background going into this at all, or?
No, I knew how to swim,
Yeah.
but what I mean by that is I knew how to go forward. I don't know anything about technique or anything.
Oh.
So after 50 meters, my arms are done. But I keep going and going, and I could barely swim 500 meters. But I did it, and it was a sprint race, and my time was just over 2 hours, like 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah.
I was so proud of myself at the
Oh, I
time.
bet.
Oh my God, I just did a triathlon.
Yeah.
How cool is that? And then I came home, I looked at my time. I came in dead last in my age group, of course. And then I wasn't even close to the guy in front of me. But the first race you finished, I feel like I accomplished a lot.
Oh, that's great.
And then although I came in dead last, I was just so happy.
Oh, I love
And
it.
I was hooked at the time.
Oh.
Oh, I want to do this. This is challenging. It's a lot of fun. People are nice.
Yeah.
And I started doing it. But 2016, after that, unfortunately, I got in a car accident, so I didn't do
Oh.
anything. And I'm okay. And then that's
Oh.
2000, going into 2017, I made a plan. And for some reason, my big plan was doing the 70.3. But if I do it, like, might as well. I want to finish the Ironman.
Hmm.
And I'm still thinking that's kind of easy.
Yeah.
I didn't know how hard it was.
Yeah.
So I made a plan, and I found. I think the first of all, I found the St. George 70.3 in May. So in order to do so, I want to do sprint and Olympic.
Oh.
So I found the sprint racing Lake Havasu in March, and then I did Olympic at Rage in April,
Mm-hmm.
the 70.3 in May. And originally I wanted to do Ironman Boulder. That was used to be June because
Yep.
my birthday is in June. It was around my birthday time.
Oh, cool.
I just thought it would be cool to finish Ironman on my birthday.
Oh.
But unfortunately, I just didn't think I could do it at the time. So I did some research. I found Santa Rosa, which is a little bit easier. Like a bike course is flat, run course is flat. So I changed the date. I registered the Santa Rosa Ironman, and I did everything in 2017. I wasn't that fast or anything, but I finished.
That's a full year in 2017.
Yeah.
You did every distance.
Yes, I did. But I just thought it would be easy at the time. I just didn't. Still, I had no idea anything about triathlon.
Oh,
That was my second year.
oh my goodness, Yoshi, that's amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe how I did it.
That that is really all right. So wait a second. I want to walk back a little bit here because that is really such a great story and I love it. So you got the Ironman Santa Rosa. You finished that.
Yeah.
And now you're on your Ironman career. So let's go back to your half. I'm still impressed by signing up for your half marathon and doing that. What was that finish like?
First one. So I think I remember I ran the first 7 miles, and at the time I was running in downtown, and my legs were already done. I knew it, but I was very disappointed. Oh my God, I have to walk, and I know, of course, a lot of people are passing me, but it is what it is. I started walking, and then I trying to walk again, but sometimes your legs won't let you run.
No.
So okay, I kept walking and walking, and then I would sit about 2 miles before the finish, and okay, I want to finish strong. And back then the race was in the morning.
Oh, right.
And okay, I tried. It was really hard, but I tried to run slowly. And okay, the last 2 miles I started running. Probably the last 1 mile, I started feeling a little better.
Oh.
Okay, this is not even close to my goal time, but who cares? I did my first half marathon, which I never thought I would do.
That's amazing.
Yeah. If it wasn't for my parents, I would have never started.
Yeah.
Yeah. So although they beat me by a lot, they used to beat me for a long time, but okay,
Oh, that's great. So you finished that half and you felt such a great sense of accomplishment. That's fantastic. So I'm curious, finishing that half, can you compare and contrast it to finishing a half marathon in a 70.3 like St. George when you did that? How are those two half marathons comparable or different?
Oh, totally different. First of all, of course, I totally underestimated running after the bike, right? I didn't know the difference. So plus St. George is really a tough course. Now I know, but back then I didn't know. I didn't know the difference. So I just signed up for it. The bike course was really hard, but I didn't even stop. I made it. And then when I started running, oh my God, right away, I started walking. The first 3 miles on the hill, I couldn't even run. There's no way. It's so steep.
It's such a tough course.
Of course. And then so I walked the hill and I ran a little bit of downhill. I just repeated it.
Yeah.
And my run was so bad, but I actually did it in just over 7 hours.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So that's not bad at all for the first time.
Yeah. No, that's great. No, that's wonderful. Okay. So now you do your half marathon and you start getting into your triathlon career with your friend, and but you start talking about your swimming, and how did that progress to where you felt you could do the 500 meters? What did you do
So,
to get
okay,
ready for that?
I was kind of upset with myself, of course. Like, no, how can I can't even swim that much. So what I usually do is, at the time, I didn't think I could hire a coach. I never had a coach in my life
Yeah.
because I just thought financially, I thought it was expensive.
Hmm.
So what I usually do is coach myself, watching YouTube. That's my go-to website.
Yeah. Yeah.
And 2016, that was the Rio Olympics, Summer Olympics year.
All right.
And that's when Katie Ledecky won a lot of gold medal.
Yeah.
And I was just watching Olympic videos and I came to across whole videos, swimming videos, and I was watching a lot of swimming videos. Okay, that's how you swim. So
Yeah.
every time I go to the gym, they're trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And I started watching like beginners how to swim videos. And starting from like reducing the drag, starting from my legs,
Yeah.
little bit at a time. It took a long time,
Yeah.
but I think I became a okay swimmer now.
Yeah.
But I just like swimming. I just like being in the water. I think it feels great.
Yeah.
So and then so every time I go to the gym, try something new, come home, watch the videos again.
That's great.
Yeah, and then kind of self-coach,
Yeah.
and yeah.
That's a great way to approach it because you want to watch good swimmers
Right.
and then try to emulate that, and that is a really good way to get better. So that's wonderful.
And I think that's one of my strengths because I was never a big guy, and I was more like a baseball guy, right? I was a team sports guy. I wanted to play sports, but I'm only 5'7", not a big guy, not a power hitter, nothing like that. So in order to survive, I had to have a good technique. I had to be a fundamental base player or whatever it is. So I think I became kind of good at imitating good people, just watching others.
Yeah.
So every time I go to the race, I do the same. I just watch a lot of people, pay attention, see how they do it. And you can learn a lot of things just by watching people, everybody. So I think that helped, just being a little guy, trying to imitate good athletes, elite athletes. The swimming, the same thing. I only watch the swimming videos. Yeah.
That's great. Well, I do think there's a lot of power in that. I like watching, like Sun Yang swim and Eliud Kipchoge run. Just watching those people.
Right.
It is, I can never run like Eliud Kipchoge, but my gosh.
And you get pumped up too. So, every next time you go on the training and maybe you have a good training. So that's another good thing.
All right. So your first triathlon you finished on this road bike that you got for what, $100 you said?
It was about $500.
Okay, $500. All right, yeah. And you loved it.
Yes, I loved it. Yeah, I was really slow. First off, I didn't even know the difference between the triathlon wetsuit or other wetsuit. And I think I had the wetsuit for surfing. It wasn't for triathlon. And I just noticed that at the time. How come everybody else is wearing different looking?
You swam in a surfing wetsuit for that race?
Yes, because
I had
no
goodness.
idea.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So of course I had tough time. Oh, that's another thing that was my first open water swim as well.
Oh wow.
I did open water swim training. I thought it was just the same thing. Pool swim and open water, what's the difference?
Yeah.
So obviously I had tough time. I couldn't breathe, and I was just doing the breaststroke. And when you struggle, by the time you come out of the water, your legs are gone too.
Yeah.
And I couldn't ride my bike. Yeah, I was so slow. And when I finished my bike, of course, just run 5K. I just trying to finish, but I was exhausted. However, the feeling I had was I can't describe.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I came in last. I was just so happy.
Oh, that is fantastic. I mean, and you're overcoming so many roadblocks, one to get to the start line. I mean, you're talking
Right.
about, overcoming smoking, which is highly addictive, and that in itself is fantastic. But then, talking about your friend,
Mhm.
that's so now I can see where you get this great attitude for exercising and doing triathlons. You've got really good perspective.
Well, yeah, I try to have fun. Everybody's nice, and we're trying to help each other. So there's no reason to be, the bad guy, or
Oh, right.
we are there to have fun. That's the bottom line to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's great for people to hear that you did you got started in triathlon on, or an entry level road bike, and you
Uh-huh.
got and a surfing wetsuit. I
Yes.
think that alone is so you don't need, top line equipment. You need to just get into sport.
You don't need anything
Just get
fancy.
started. Just get
Right, right,
started.
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
sometimes it's better not to know anything. You have no feel. Because I thought I was doing the right thing, but I just
yeah,
didn't know.
yeah.
You know?
I love it. All right, so now tell me about after doing that first race, because now you go from 2014 and now you're overcoming a car crash in 2016.
Uh-huh.
You're skipping ahead to 2017.
Uh-huh.
At what point did Ironman enter your thoughts?
Well, at the time, I was still thinking like, okay, Ironman is just a longer distance.
No,
It's definitely doable.
no.
So I wasn't thinking like, oh, it's gonna be really difficult. But
Mhm.
although I decided to do in a little bit easier course,
No.
I shouldn't say easy, but
Yeah,
less
there's no easy.
difficult. Right, right. Less difficult course.
There's no easy.
Yeah, but at the time, so when I started swimming, I was worried about the cutoff time, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did my own time trial, 2,000 meter, which is about 70.3 distance. And I was swimming about 54 minutes. That
Oh,
was my first
yeah,
time I ever did the distance. And, half distance time cutoff time is 110.
yeah.
I'm getting close. Plus
Mm,
the open, now at the time, I know the open water swim is more difficult.
yeah.
So I don't think I'm gonna make it. There's no way. So I kind of concentrated on the swim, and I got a little bit better and I got comfortable. So now I'm knowing that I can make the cutoff time. I
Mm,
was very comfortable.
mhm,
And then, okay, just a bike, 112 miles, but it's a flat course.
mhm.
Just pace myself, go slow, don't race anyone, just keep your own pace. And then that's how I did it.
That's great.
Yeah. And of course, when I went to the run course, I had a little bit of GI issues,
Mm.
so I couldn't run very well. But it's okay. I finished.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. And that finish line of your Ironman is always a good spot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had to walk last, I would say 16 miles,
Oh,
but I ran the last maybe 500 meters, of course, trying to make
that's
myself
great.
look good. It was a good feeling. Yeah.
Uh, well,
Any
okay.
race, actually, I feel good.
So in that 2017 year, I mean, did you plan that year to do every distance? Was
Yes.
that okay? So
So
that was the goal. Okay.
yeah, my main goal was 70.3, but if I do 70.3, might as well, I want to do the whole thing.
Oh,
So I kind of changed my goal. And then in order to do so, in order to do Ironman, maybe I should do half, I should do Olympic, and
yeah.
then sprint. So I did everything in that year.
That's impressive.
Oh,
That's
thank
great.
you. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay, so now looking back on all this, I'm
Mhm.
wondering what some advice that you would give to someone starting out in triathlon. Mm,
Well, just like me, you don't have to be good. I mean, I think a lot of people kind of they get shy because they're not fast, or oh, I can't swim well, I can't run fast.
mm,
But you don't have to be good.
mhm.
I came in the last place a few times in my age group, but I don't care really.
Yeah, all right.
When you cross the finish line, it's just an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
and it's a lot of fun. So you don't even need a good equipment.
Hmm.
All you need is just the goggles, right? It's just a cheap
Yep.
bike, even the mountain bike.
Yeah.
And everybody has running shoes. So, or you can borrow it from someone.
Yeah.
So just try it, and you never know. The bottom line is, I don't think you have to be good to do this sports. Of course, you want to be good. Of course, I want to be good. But in order to have fun, just be with your friends,
Yep.
enjoy the sports or activities,
Mhm.
So just don't be shy. My
Yeah.
advice would be, let's not to be shy, just have fun.
Well,
I think having fun is the bottom line.
I love the perspective because, and you've said this several times, it's really about the experience and just enjoying, the race experience is really the, bottom line why we do these.
Exactly. Yeah. Just have fun with your friends, If something happens, somebody will help you, right? Oh, I think I
No,
got a
that's
message
great.
from
Okay,
Bob.
so now in all these races that you've done all the different distances. What do you find is your favorite distance to do?
I think my favorite is 70.3.
Oh,
I was never a sprinter or anything. Don't get me wrong. I'm not fast by any means. But I only have one speed, right? I don't have the sprint like speed. So I don't like sprints, although because it's short, I do it.
yeah,
But Olympic to me, that's the worst because you need both the speed
yeah,
and the endurance.
that's right.
But 7.3, you don't have to go that fast. And I think I have endurance. And I only have one speed, so I can keep going. But Ironman distance is a little bit too long. You need a lot of commitment, training time, and everything,
Yeah.
sacrifice in your life.
Hmm.
So I think 70.3 is my favorite.
Mm. No, that's a good, you're right, because you have to find that balance. And
Yeah.
although, 70.3 still is very time consuming to prep for, it's not as time consuming as a full. So that's good. But I love that. Yeah, I like how you've talked through that and you have the different strengths. So do
Right.
you have, what 70.3 do you have on the horizon?
So right now I don't have anything, but since I got DNF in Coeur d'Alene, oh, we haven't talked about it yet. But anyway, so I have Ironman California coming up in October, and I know it's a flat course. However, I want to get my confidence back.
Yeah.
So I was just looking at 70.3 in September, and I was looking at 70.3 Santa Cruz or maybe Cozumel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
Those two I was looking at, but I haven't registered yet, and I don't have to do it, but because this time I just did St. George in May.
Yeah.
And I did Coeur d'Alene in June. And after St. George, I was mentally tired. And I didn't want to train anymore. I kind of went through like a depression time. What is this? Because maybe the COVID hit 2020.
Yeah.
We didn't have any race. So basically, all we did was training without a race. So finally, I raced one. Maybe I got a little bit exhausted. So I don't know if I want to go through that. So I want to do 70.3 before California. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And no, I'm right there with you. I know without the racing in 2020, it hit us lots of different ways, but
Yeah.
we do miss getting together and just racing with each other and having a good time. And I'm glad some of our club races have come back, and those have been fun to do.
It is fun. As a matter of fact, I already registered for Aqua Bike next week.
Awesome.
So I will see you next week.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, is it next week? You're right, it is.
Yes, next Sunday.
We're good. We've got to get ready for that aqua bike. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So Coeur d'Alene, yes, you ran into some hot weather. I don't think you should lose any confidence over that race. Those conditions were horrendous. But you had a flat tire, going into the start of the race. Tell
Yes.
me about that.
So I just trying to inflate the tire, but all of a sudden just made a noise. I lost all the air, and then I had to change the tube.
Yeah.
And then I just got to the transition area right at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Hmm.
And oh my God. And I said to myself, okay, just think positive. This is exactly why I go to transition area early in the morning. I have
Yeah.
plenty of time.
Mhm.
But the bad thing was I only carried one extra tube.
Okay.
I already used it up. And I went to the bike tech, asked for extra tube, but they said they didn't have it. It's only available on the course. So, okay, that's fine. And of course, when I started riding right away, I got flat tire.
Oh,
And I had to wait for a sag. But, he was nice. It was kind of quick. And good thing was it happened at the 8th station. So they called SAG for me.
Okay.
So I only waited for maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and
Right.
he had to cook a little bit. So I think I only lost about 20 to 25 minutes.
Right.
So it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but to see that with a hot day like that, one, you're standing in the heat, and
Yes,
then
true.
two, you're pushing your race further into the hotter part of the day.
That's
So
true. Right.
that's just adding a tough to a tough day.
Yes, it was just a tough day for me.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, but I should have known 2 days before the race, I ran a little bit, easy pace, but I was sweating a lot more and drinking more than
Mm.
usual. So I should have known, maybe I should have adjusted my nutrition plan, but I wasn't thinking. I just stick to my usual plan, eat something every 30 minutes, taking salt, drink a lot. I was doing it, but still, I went bonk. It was a hot day.
There's not a lot of nutrition plans that will work on a day like that. So,
Right. Everybody was just stopping at the end of the race. Yeah.
I've read some really tough stories, and to walk away from a race, I'll tell you what, I actually think that's really important in building us up, and I actually think it helps mature us as triathletes, because there are times that you got to walk away, and I've walked away from races, and it is a tough decision to make. So I have 2 DNFs on my record, but that's not. I don't look at them as negatives. I've learned a lot from those.
Yes.
And I know you've shared some things on Facebook, and you have as well. And I think it's going to be. I think that's going to be something you're going to look back on and say that was a good experience, good learning experience, and is going to help you in the future.
Absolutely. I think every race is a good experience, especially I don't have much experience, and not as much as you have, obviously. So I can learn something from every race, good race or bad race, So after the race, I usually kind of look back or think back and think about what I did good and bad, and trying to fix my mistakes during my training. I usually do that. I mean, this time it was just a bad weather, nutrition problems. So try not to think about it.
Yeah.
But still, it was a good experience.
Yeah. That's good. And that's right. And that's what you can do, is take something positive out of it from every race. And I think now you've got your sight on Ironman California.
Yes.
And
I'm looking forward to it. I have 16 weekends left, including this week. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be good. And we've got a big crew going to that race as well. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yes, it will be. Are you racing anytime soon?
I
know you
think,
broke your toe, but
yeah, and believe me, that broken toe saved me from Coeur d'Alene, because I've never raced well in the heat like that. So I would have been that would have been a rough day for me for sure. But yeah, no, right now I've got St. George in September is what.
that's right.
Too. So we'll see.
that's your main race.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, this is so great. My goodness, I've not heard these stories, and to hear the roadblocks that you've overcome to get to the start line and get involved with triathlon. Yoshi, this is really impressive what you've been able to do.
Well,
And
thanks for saying that. I really appreciate it. But like I said, at the time, I was not thinking like a roadblock. I thought it would be easy.
yeah.
I totally underestimated it.
Well, and I hope that when you talk with your parents and you tell them that you've done Ironman, that they are impressed with that as well. So
Yes, they were actually impressed. I was
yeah,
happy about that. Yeah.
that is great. Well, great to hear that running is in your family, and
Yes.
that's really neat that you have that connection.
Yeah. I just wish I had started when I was younger.
Yeah.
But, I was already 39 at the time, and I'm 50 now. But
Well,
at least I found it. So
exactly, and I think that's a great message for people to hear is that it's never too late to get into the sport.
right.
And to have the improvement that you've had over the years. I mean that's fantastic.
Yep. I'm glad I started it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Yoshi, great. I will see you next weekend
Yes,
at the
sir.
Aqua Bike, and
Yeah.
we'll chat then as well. And I'm looking forward to tracking you at Ironman California. And so
Yes.
enjoy the training to prep for that one.
We'll do the same for you at the championship.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thanks, Yoshi. Thanks for joining.
John, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It was
All
fun.
right.
Yeah.
Have a nice evening.
You too. Thank you.